here it is, folks, another look at Manor Lords. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to another gameplay trailer hot off the presses from the developer on the upcoming economic and military systems in Manor Lords. This is a really promising city builder and real-time strategy game that, if you haven't heard of it now, it is going to be astounding. They cover in today's trailer all the different military levels of training, from militia all the way up to actual armed soldiers who have shields and armor and swords, from even just things like pickaxes and stuff, and of course more details on what you can make in the game in terms of building production and how to trade, and then how to go to combat and communicate with other lords who happen to be in the world map. So let's, without further ado, take a look at the trailer for today's update of pre-alpha footage from Manor Lords. And again, if you're new here, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Never miss a video by turning on that notification bell and smashing like for this upcoming game that I am definitely going to cover. Let's take a look now at Manor Lords. Waitlist now on Steam.
Welcome to Manor Lords.
Let's get to work!
In this video, I'd like to introduce you to some of the core mechanics of the game, including regional development, trade, and military recruitment.
We need more workers here.
The map in Manor Lords is divided into regions. Each region has its own resources, as well as a development tree. When you upgrade the residential buildings in the region, you get development points, which you can spend to unlock new development branches. This means that different regions may specialize in different things. Some may be more optimized for farming, some for mining, and some will process the resources to make expensive goods, like shoes or clothing. Depending on the optimization of your production chains, the price of the goods will change, affecting the market attractiveness. Free merchants will travel more frequently to towns that have rare and more affordable goods. These merchants are the only way to get wealth in the game. Lord's treasury, however, is split from the regional wealth. As the lord or lady, you must tax your towns and villages in order to get money for your personal endeavors. There are different taxes giving various benefits. For example, the tithe goes straight to the church, but in return, the church gives you influence. Every so often, the king gives out valuable rewards to the most influential lords on the map, including new territories. You can compliment or insult other lords via the diplomacy system to affect their influence. The recruitment system in Manor Lords has been redesigned after some community feedback. It is now divided into 3 unit categories. First type of recruits are the peasant militia. You can call to arms the peasants from your villages. They grab whatever improvised weapons they have and join the fight.
War is coming!
This will hit your economy, and you'll need at least a couple of villages to form an army. If you want better militia, you must train them at the training camp or the archery range. The second type of recruits are mercenaries. They cost silver and a lot of it. The last type is Lord's Retinue. This is a limited, heavily armored unit that you can customize to your liking. Thank you for joining in for this short preview of Manor Lords gameplay systems. If you're interested in discussing the game, be sure to visit Manor Lord's Discord and subreddit. See you all in the next video.
Alright, now that absolutely looks promising. With this being a pre-alpha look at the game and without everybody having access to it yet, there seems to be a lot of feedback from the community, and the developers definitely listening to improvements to the combat system and of course to how the economic system is going to work as well. That's great to see that people are getting access early in order to give feedback, and that the developer is willing to listen and make improvements based on the community, which will overall make a better experience. I love seeing the building in this game and seeing people carrying logs and such around. It's really making me hope to see things like Austrive, where each building is painstakingly constructed by each members of your, well, the land in which you are a lord of. And it's also cool that there's many different updates and things that you can do. For example, taking over other territories that specialize in different types of materials, such as when they covered the differences between mining and logging. And of course, to be able to make resources that are much more, for example, expensive or give a lot more money in return. Great to see cattle, great to see the fact that you can set up those fields as you just did, and of course it's worth a second look again at all the details in this game, from the mining to the what looked to be possibly smelting or possibly making of pottery. There's so much that is possible here. It's great, as well as the little church that looks wonderful, and I love the details of all the buildings. All of these buildings seem to be on the level of a much more hardcore, realistic Foundation, I would say. If you've ever seen Foundation on the channel before, there is much of this in that game as well, where you're trading with merchants and making money that way, and then of course having to harness the power of all the resources within your region in order to trade for what you don't have, and that of course will make your very powerful nation or your very powerful lands even more powerful, as you can go to war with all the other lords in the area. Cool to see the information on taxes as well, to know that you'll be able to make money that way by taxing your people, and then of course providing them with more goods and services to make money that way. And I want to see more about the building in this game too, seeing all these structures, these gorgeous churches, and all of these little homes and structures such as the barns. And look at that, even the little deer weaving in the as that man walks in the stride, making it go back and forth. Such little details make such a massive difference in these types of games. And really cool to see this system, the letter system, where you can then welcome somebody and make requests, or be brutal and make requests, or just say hello. Very cool that you can establish relationships that way. Though it won't be multiplayer, or at least I don't think it will be, it'll be cool to be able to go to war with other factions and other kingdoms if you want to take their land, or if they try to invade you to defend. And it remains to be seen whether or not we can build large castle walls or strongholds and large fortifications. But of course, there's a potential for modding in this game, perhaps in the future. It would be great to see. And I'm really just feeling like this is Banished 2.0 with elements from Foundation, and I also am feeling a lot of Medieval Dynasty in this game as well, because it's so detailed down to the closest zoom in. It almost feels like a first-person game, where it's also a city builder and a real-time strategy game within that. I just am so excited to see this game come on out, because I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet, and I, just like you, want to see all the things that we can build and all the lovely details. I love the trees blowing in the wind. I love seeing the grain blowing in the wind. You can see cloud coverage coming over. As you notice, the land gets a little darker from the clouds, and man oh man, will it be cool to go to war and see if you can win by preparing all your troops for battle. Great that there's cavalry, great that there's militia, great that there's all sorts of different armed troops, and of course a weather system too. Great that it's not just summer, and that it looks like there'll be you know, different types of weather, including the rain, and that it could possibly affect the crops and your profits over the years. Alright, well that is it for Manor Lords, guys. I'm going to keep you updated with anything new coming from this game, and I am excited to see more of it. And thanks again for supporting our channel and for supporting that game if you did as well. And I'll see you guys next time for more. Thanks again for dropping by. Thanks for your positivity, and I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.